Dear student, how are you? Uh, the purpose of this video is to explain you how to prepare income statement of sole trader with the adjustment. Here you can see data is given. That data is given. What is that? That is trial balance is given to you. Sale purchases. You have already seen it. We have done it many times in our class income statement. But here I'm going to explain you when trial balance is given with the additional information. Additional information is also called adjustment. So you need to adjust this information in the trial balance while preparing income statement. The basic thing I can tell you, only few things is very simple. There are two kind of things you will find. Prepaid or maybe or other one may be outstanding owing. So prepaid is additional information is subtracted. If additional information is rent prepaid, for example. So prepaid in additional information is subtracted from the same account given in trial balance. Same account means rent prepaid. So you have to find the trial balance rent is here. You can see here rent 3,800. So rent is here 3,800 and then rent prepaid is here. If it is prepaid, you will simply 38,000 minus prepaid 500 and you will get 3,300. I will tell you where you will write and how you will write. Then to the other side, if you have outstanding, owing, due, unpaid, arrears, accrue, in additional information. Remember, I'm talking about additional information. Additional information is added in the same account given in the trial balance. That means salaries and expenses outstanding 4,000. It is given in the additional information. So what will you do? You will go to the salaries expense here. You have to find here in the trial balance. So salaries and wages is given 52,000. So you will write salaries 52,000. As I told you, if any kind of this word is here, outstanding, owing, due, unpaid, arrears, here you will find outstanding. 4,000 you have to add to the same account. That means salaries expense outstanding 4,000. You have to find the salaries expense here. So here you have salaries expense, salaries and wages, right? Expense 52,000. So 50,000 you will write down here. And then how much it is outstanding? It is 4,000. You will write 4,000. You will add it and you will get the total salary expense. Okay. In the same way, sundry expense is also owing. I told you outstanding owing is owing here, right? So if it is owing, what will you do? You will write here in the what is it owing 100. So this is owing, right? But we have to find in the trial balance sundry expense. So if you see sundry expense is given in the green 300. So what will you do? You will write sundry expense 300 and plus what owing. So 100 is equal to 4. You will get 400. So make it. I am making more simpler. How do you will do? If prepaid, you have to subtract. Generally, yes. If prepaid or advance is given, you have to subtract. Otherwise, you will add it. Okay. Now come to the next. How you will do this question? Like this question is given. So first of all, you have to write sales. So here, what is sales give? Sale how much? 52,000. Okay. Now I'm going to explain you how to prepare income statement. So you will. It is in the exam. It would be given. Heading would be given. Don't worry. So first thing what you have to write, you have to write sales. And how much sale is here? 260,000. You can see here it is 260,000. So you will write 260,000. Then what will you write? You will write less cost of goods sale, cost of sales. You will write cost of sale. Cost of sales and cost of goods sold, same thing. But now you have to use cost of sales. And how you will write? But you will not get direct figure from your cost of sale. You will not write go cost of sale. You have need to calculate it. How you will calculate? First of all, you have to write purchases. And purchases 150,000. Just go to the question back again. Purchases how much? 150,000. And then you will subtract how much? Inventory at closing, 20,000. So 120,000, 150,000 purchases and you subtract inventory at the end of the year. It is given in the addition information. So purchase is 150,000, and but remember you have to write on the left hand side. You will not write directly here, right? You will write on the left hand side 150,000 and 20,000, that is closing inventory. That closing inventory will be given in the additional information or adjustment. 150,000 you subtract it, less means subtract. So when you subtract it, you will get 150,000 minus 20,000, you will get 130,000. So what will you do? You will simply write 130,000 just below the with this, but under the 260,000 under the sales. And when you subtract it, 260 minus 130, you will get the figure 130,000. That is called gross profit. After that, you will write less expenses. You have to less expenses. First of all, you have to go back to go back to your questions, and then you will see all the expenses. So what will you see here? Let me check it here. First of all, you have to find out what are the expenses. Okay. So expenses here, you have expenses here, rent expense, lighting, heating expense, salaries expense, salaries, wages. These are expenses, right? Even it is not written here, but it is expenses. Then insurance. Building is your fixed asset, fixed asset, account receivable, your asset. Sundry expenses is there. So you will write sundry expenses. And then I have to find out any other expenses. Yes, motor expenses is here. Okay, so these are the expenses, and you have to write in the income statement. But remember, whenever you write any expenses, you have to see here also additional information. If anything related to this here, you have to add or subtract. As I told you, if it is prepaid, you have to subtract, otherwise you add it. So now we can go back to the questions. The answer, how do you will write it? Expenses. Number one, rent is zero, right? Rent how much? 3,800. But rent is prepaid. So you will write 3,800 minus 500. This is rent is 3,000. Rent is 3,800 minus 500. Then you will get 3,800. Okay. When we go to next here, you can see here. Okay. So it is 3,000. Okay. Can you see it here clearly? Okay. So here you have expenses rent 3,800 minus 500. Why minus 500? I can go back and explain you again. Why minus 500? Because of the prepaid, right? So rent is 3,800. Because it is when prepaid is given 500, you will write you will write 3,800 minus 500, and then you will write here 3,300. And then next is lighting and heating, 700. How did you get 700? You go back and see here, lighting and heating expenses 700. Because lighting and heating is not giving additional information, so what will you do? You will write directly. There is no need for any adjustment. You have insurance how much? 3,000. So there is no insurance in additional information, so you will write directly. So you will write here lighting and heating. Then you have salaries and wages. Salaries is 50,000, but salaries and wages how much? 4,000. So what will you do? Outstanding. So here 52,000 plus 4,000. Okay. Now we can go back here. So it is 3,000 because adjustment was here. Prepaid, so you subtract it. And lighting and heating, there was no adjustment, so you will write directly whatever given there. And then salaries and wages expense was there 52,000. It is given there, and 4,000 was adjustment. That was You see, go there, salary and expense, how much? 52,000, 52,000, and salary and expense were outstanding. So I told you, if it is outstanding, if it is, it will be added to the what is given in there. So salary expense outstanding 4,000, so you will add 52,000 plus 4,000, you will get a figure like this. Okay, 52,000 plus 4,000, 56,000. But you will add here, underneath here, in this column. Then what you have here? Insurance. So why you write directly if there is no adjustment? Because insurance is given 3,000 and additional information, there is no information regarding, there is no outstanding, there is no prepaid, nothing, so you will write directly 3,000. Again, I am repeating the same thing. If it is given here and if it given additional information, then you have to add or subtract. Otherwise, you will write directly. If it is prepaid, you will minus, subtract it, otherwise you will add it. Okay. Now we can go back to questions. You see, like sundry expenses, salaries, insurance, there was no adjustment, so you will add directly 3,000, and then you have sundry expense 3,000 plus 100. Why we added here? Because sundry expenses were 3,000 and sundry expense given in the additional information also. How much? Uh, it is it is 100. If it is owing, I told you owing is, if it is owing, also you have to add it. So 300 plus 100, 400. So you will get here, where it is, yes, Sunday expense 300 and owing, so you have to add it, 100. So like this, 400. And then motor expenses, from where you got motor expense? Motor expense is given here. This is also your expense, 4,600. So there is no adjustment, you will write directly. 4,600. So when you have written all the expenses, simply you have to add it, and then remember you have to write underneath. Just it's parallel to here. You will write underline here, and then you will total it. You will total all this figure. You have to total it. Which one? You have to total, and then you have to write down here. Okay. Once you have written here, what will you do? Simply, you have to subtract from here. That is 130,000 minus 60,000. Then you will get your answer. That is called, when you get 130,000 minus 68,000, you have 62,000. This is called net profit or profit for the year. Okay. Remember, this is because the last figure, bottom line, you have to write double line here. Okay, and remember bracket we use for subtraction. So wherever you have bracket, that is means subtract. 150,000 minus 20,000, it is subtracted. That is why we use bracket. Then you write here 130,000 because again 260,000 minus 260,000 minus 130,000. So that is why because we are subtracting, we are using bracket. So 260 minus 130, you will get 130,000 positive. If you're putting a bracket, that means minus. If any figure you get remember, we don't use minus sign in accounting. Whenever we want to write minus or subtraction, we simply write bracket. Bracket means minus sign. So 260, 130, then that is your gross profit. When you write all the expenses, you have to write down here, total it, then write down here. Again, because we need to subtract the expenses, so we put a bracket here. Total from here, total is 68,000. So we will write here 130,000 minus 68,000, so we got the positive 62,000. So that is the net profit for the year, 62,000. If this figure is bigger than this gross profit, let's say 168,000. So then when you subtract it, you will get the minus figure. When you get the minus figure, you will write net loss or loss for the year. Okay. I hope you have understood. If you have any question, you can ask me. Thank you very much for your understanding. Thank you. Have a very good day. Bye.